Hey navigators, welcome back to the channel. Well, this week's been a crazy one weather-wise. Had 70 degrees one day, and now we had a day that got back down in the 30s, and today it's crummy again. It's rainy and not very good. But what we're going to do today is we're going to still salvage something. I don't know about you all, but one of my favorite things to do on YouTube is to get on there and check out people's channels and see what kind of boat setups they have. I mean, man, it's really cool, man, getting on there and checking them out, seeing what kind of things they've come up with. You know, there's always some good DIYs. There's always products that I haven't seen, and, you know, gives me a lot of ideas and helps me get my boat set up. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you my setup on my Native Slayer Propel 10. My setup for 2023. So, you know, I don't know, maybe you guys will see something you like. Come along with me, we'll walk around this boat and I'll show you what it's all about. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to the Outdoor Navigator. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at my 2023 fishing setup on my Native Slayer Propel 10. So we'll go ahead and start up here at the front of the boat. Okay, inside this storage hatch, I don't have much in there, okay, but I do have a lot of space. So if I want, it's good dry storage. So if I wanted to put some clothing in there, or sometimes even my kayak cart, I'll load it up in there. Anyway, all that I really have in here is this little watertight box. I got it at Walmart. And the things that I'm going over today, if you look in the video description, you'll see a link and you'll be able to find a spot where you can research this and maybe buy it if you want to. I'm not sponsored by anything on this boat, so, you know, I don't get paid for any of it. This is just stuff that I found useful and that works for me. So, you know, there's other things out there. Always do your research. So, inside this watertight box, basically all I got in here, you know, got a little thing to measure fish with, okay, if I need to. I've got some basic tools. I've got some Allen wrenches, some screwdrivers, and another thing that I keep in here, okay, is an air horn. Okay, you never know when you might run into problems. Okay, when you're out on the water, you can sound that air horn and hopefully somebody hear you and they'll come help you out. So that's all that's in there. So next thing, I'm gonna go ahead and start moving down the side here. All right, now next thing you'll see is this little D-ring with some paracord strapped onto this little eyelet. When I bought the eyelet on Amazon, and I bought it to put in these gear tracks to tie things off to, and they've come in real handy. They were pretty cheap, so you might want to check those out if you're looking for some options. Now, what I use that D-ring for, alright, I've got my Yak Attack stakeout pole, okay, and when I'm fishing some lakes, sometimes if it's windy, or sometimes maybe I'm in a creek or a lake, or a creek or a river where I've got a little bit of current, I might want to stake off and hang out there a while and do some spot fishing. So I don't have an anchor trolley system. The reason why is because I really don't have room for it on either side. I got things going on and I don't really want to drill any holes in my boat. So I went with a different option. Alright, so basically how this stakeout pole works. Alright, what I'll do is, depending on where I want to stake out at on the boat, okay, I'll run this stakeout pole through here, okay, just like so. I'll push it in. I'll push it into the lake bottom or creek bottom or whatever it is, and I'll stake off right there. And depending on the wind or the current, you know, I can set my boat up the way I want it positioned. I can stake off the front of the boat. Alright, I've also got one of these here in the middle. Alright, and I've also got one here in the back. Alright, so no matter where I want to stake off, I've got a spot somewhere. Okay, front, back, or middle. And I found this to work pretty good for me. And, you know, might be something you want to try out if you don't want to put no holes in your boats. All right, so moving on back. Next thing I'm going to run into is my transducer mount. Okay, this transducer mount is made by Scotty. It came in one piece. Okay, the way that it works, I just loosen this up. I can lower down my transducer arm and then just tighten it back up. Okay, it's got a ball mount on top. Okay, and on top of it is where I've got my rod holder, and it's made by Scotty also. So I've got my rod here, got my transducer arm. You know, I tried to buy things in as few pieces as possible because you got to put all this stuff together. So, and it's also cheaper. All right, so that works pretty good. All right, moving back here, down here, okay, I've got this whole mounting system for my electronic. And the electronic that I'm using, okay, is the Humminbird Helix 5. So this one here, it's got down imaging. It's also got GPS. Okay, it's got some maps preloaded into it. So, you know, some of the maps, some of the lakes that I fish, the maps are already in there. So that's really cool. But you can also upgrade that. You can buy cards that got more maps on them. And, you know, you can also make your own map. So you can put an SD card in here, and when you're out fishing, you can record, and you can record your own lake maps. So the way that I got this mounted on here, all right, this is a Scotty universal mount, okay, and it worked real good with this Humminbird mount. Okay, down here I've got another Scotty gearhead mount, okay, and I've got all that came as one. I think I bought that as one piece, so all that came together. This is actually a Yak Attack camera mount that I bought, but it also fits the Scotty mount system. So, you know, this little 1-inch ball here, it does work with that. So all these together, what's cool about this is I can adjust this. So when I'm sitting in my seat, okay, depending on the sun or whatever, or what kind of view I want to do, you know, I can loosen up here on my main mount, okay, and I can adjust the angle, okay, like that. Tighten that back up, and then if I want to turn it, okay, I can turn it back and forth that way, and I can also loosen up down here, okay, and then I can swing it out. I can swing it out this way if I want to, okay. I can actually bring it in here if I want to. You know, I can bring it all, I can just direct it any way I want to, you know, whatever works for me. I've got a lot of range of motion with that, so that makes it really good, especially, you know, when you're confined to a boat and the sun's reflecting off of it, and you just, you know, sometimes you may just need to get it out of the way, you know, so you can run your pedal drive, whatever the case may be. All right, so moving on back. All right, I've got a cup holder here. This is a ram mount cup holder. I like this thing. It's good for storing your drinks in. There is a storage area here in the middle. I don't like using it because I'll be fishing and I'll drip pond water or lake water in my drinks, and it don't taste that good, and it makes you have to run the bank and do stuff. So I don't really like it. But this here, this is real good, and whenever I don't have a bottle of something sitting in it, okay, I can just put baits in it. I can put baits in there, hang them off these little holes or whatever. So it comes in real handy. All right, so moving on back here, okay, I've showed you this before. You all should know what this is if you watch my videos, but this here is one of the best pieces of equipment I think I got in my boat, because this allows me to retrieve baits. And I mean, I have saved so much money with this. I mean, it's ridiculous. I ended up adding something to it this year, okay? What I did is I put this little D-ring on here, and what I hope to do is I want to snap my line in here so it will kind of use that as a guide. So when I push it down into the water, you know, it'll run along my line, and it'll guide it down there to where it's stuck, and then I can get down there and I can work this around a little bit and hopefully dislodge it. So, But, you know, this is also good for reaching. You can extend it, reach it up in the trees. You can extend it out and hook onto something if you want to, or somebody. So, you know, just a lot of good uses for that. All right, I got this locked in here with these little cam mounts by Native Watercraft. Okay, they work pretty good. They hold it in there good. It ain't getting away from me. One thing you'll notice, I got a lot of things tethered off. Okay, I got this tethered off, so if something happens and it falls in water, it ain't gonna get away from me. Okay, my whole mountain system, I've got it tethered off. Okay, I've got a tether sitting here, so if I put my fishing pole in here for a while, I can go ahead and lock in and tether it off. So you'll see I've got a lot of tethering going on this boat. All right, so let's go ahead and make our way up the other side of this. All right, so we'll get down here on the back of it. All right, so if you look down here, you'll see a rudder, and it's a new rudder. It's not the stock rudder that came with this boat. Okay, this is the new Springblade rudder, okay, by Native. And if you look up in the card, I'll show you an install video I did on it. It was real easy to put in, but hopefully what that's going to do is help me out there on the water, help me to be able to maintain better boat position, get that better turning radius, and have better tracking when I'm underway pedaling. So we'll see how it works. All right, so as we move on up through here, first thing you're going to see here is my camera system. So this year when I'm out doing some filming, I'm going to be using this for those views coming back from behind me. So this was made by Kayak Attack. Okay, it's their Kayak Attack Panfish Pro camera system. So that's going to be the one I'm using. You see me, I'm sitting here holding my paddle. This is just an Ascend tournament paddle. I had this when I bought my first boat, okay, which was an Ascend FS12T. And I did a review of it. I sold that boat and I bought another one because I liked it so much. But anyway, I've got it stored. I store it in here with my vertical rod holders. I do not like running my fishing poles in the vertical position, because what happens is I go fish and I get hung up, okay, or I got to go into the bank for some reason. And when I go into the bank, I fish where there's a lot of trees. My poles end up getting hung up in the trees. I've broke them off. You know, I've had poles pulled out, and yeah, I don't need that. So I just went with a horizontal rod storage system. All right, the one that I went with is a Yak Gadget Flex Rod Stager rod holding system. Okay, and I like it a whole lot, and I'm going to show you why. Number one, I can put quite a few different poles on here. So with this setup, I've got 4. Okay, if I'm not running with my stakeout pole, I can put another one up there. Okay, now if you look at it here, down here at the bottom, hopefully you can see everything real good, but there's a knob here that I can turn. All right, turn that knob there, and what that allows me to do is I can move this in or out. Okay, most of the time I leave it in the out position, kind of away from me, but you can bring it in a little bit closer. So a lot of people, you know, they would probably be like, well, man, that would make me nervous having my poles hanging out away from the boat. And you know what? You would be right. That did make me nervous. So the solution that I came up with is I bought these tethers, okay? And I've got a tether for each reel that I take. And I've got those tethers tied off here to the boat itself. So if I do drop a rod in the water, if one comes out of here, it's not going to get away from me, okay? It's tethered off to the boat. Another thing that I always do, okay, is I put a little cord around it, okay, to hold them in there tight. And I've also got one up here on the front. So I actually added that to mine. It didn't come with these. I put them on there, but they work really good. So everything's held in there good, and I don't have to worry about losing any of my rods. So that's how I store my rods on my boat. All right, so I'll come up the side, and you know, that looks like it. So let's run down the middle. Okay, so as I start running down the middle of this boat, all right, first thing I'm gonna come into is this propel drive. Okay, Now my Propel drive, this has been a game changer for me. You know, back in the day, I had paddle kayaks, and what happened was I spent a lot of time with hands on the paddle and not a lot of times with hands on the fishing pole. So this has freed me up some, okay? It allows me to keep better boat position in the water, better for spot fishing. It saves my shoulders and just allows me to spend more time fishing and less time paddling. Less time paddling. All right, so as I move back, sitting on top here, what I did, there was a threaded hole in the top of this. So I brought this 1-inch threaded ball, and I think I got that from Railmount. I got this little ram arm here, okay? And what I can do is I can mount my camera systems on here. So, you know, if I want to vlog, or if I want to go ahead and set up another camera, you know, and position it, you know, when you loosen this up, it gives you some options where you can move this around back and forth and all that. So, you know, that works out real good for holding a camera. All right, moving back. All right, if y'all can see, got this little pocket system. It's made by Native Watercraft. Okay, inside here, I just got my fish grips. Okay, got my scissors for cutting all that braided line. Okay, this is another, this came with my fish scale. Okay, but you can also use it to grass fish. Extra strap here to tie off if I want to something. So that comes in handy. What I like about this is it just keeps everything close to me. So when I'm sitting in my seat, you know, I can get a hold of everything real easy. I mean, it's real easy for me to reach up there and get a hold of that. And with that in mind, so just keeping things in reach and making things real easy. So when I move back to my seat, I mean, this is my pilot chair. Okay, I pilot my boat from here, and I like to have everything close so I can get to it. So last year I was out fishing one time, and I didn't have anything on my boat to measure a fish with. I never keep any fish, but I do like to measure them and see what I catch. I don't tournament fish, so all I needed was some kind of measuring board, you know, just to see how long something was I caught. So what I did was I bought one of these from Bass Pro Shop. Okay, it's a tournament board. Measures up there to 22 inches. That's probably about another inch there, so somewhere around 23 inches. And what I did was I made me a little scabbard, and what I made it out of was some hose. Okay, so I just cut the hose to fit. Okay, I got some zip ties, and I tied it in to my paddle, or to my seat. I tied it into my seat, and I just keep it like that. Okay, it comes back through that sheath and just sits there. So anytime I need it, you know, I just pull it out there, and as you can see, I got it tethered off. I don't want to lose it. All right, so got that tethered off. All right, I got another tool here, so when I'm fishing those wacky rigs, okay, I can put my little rubber pieces on there to try to save some of them worms. All right, so down here in my seat, I bought this under seat storage. And what I use that under seat storage for, okay, I bought me a couple boxes. In this box in particular, I got some jig heads, okay. And then in this box, okay, what I got is all my hooks and my sinkers, okay, and some swivels and set up for some Carolina rigs and, you know, different things like that I might need. Bought me a pair of nippers, okay, from the Boomerang Tool Company, okay. These got this little retractable tether, so, you know, when I'm sitting there and I need to cut something, bam, it's right there. All right, next, sitting in my seat, man, the most important piece of equipment on this boat. I'm telling you, man, it don't get more important than this. This is my PFD, okay. It's an NRS Chinook. I did a full review video on this. If you look up in the card, click on it and check it out, man, because I'm telling you, this thing is comfortable, and it's got all these pockets on it. You can keep everything in there. You can keep your snacks in there, okay, keep your pliers in there, got your knife, got your whistle, so when you're out there and you get in trouble, you can blow that whistle. I mean, everybody should have one of those. So PFD, man, most important piece of equipment in this boat, I'm telling you. All right, now on the back of my seat, like I said, I like everything to where I can get to it. So back here on the back of my seat, okay, I got my dip net. I bought this from, what is this, a Fray bill. I bought this off of, I think at Walmart. So, you know, it's everything I need it for. I just keep it back there behind the seat so when I need to get a hold of it. Back here on the back, I got this Lunker Hunt backpack. I like this one because it opens up in the top, okay, and you can get to everything real easy. Now, inside here, what I usually keep is, I keep my old lunch box, okay. I keep me a dry bag, and down inside there, I guess y'all can see that, I've got my battery for my electronic, and I got me another watertight box. And what I store in here is my wallet and my keys. I can put my phone in there if I carry any personal protection. Sometimes I put it in there, you know, just to keep those things dry. And then as far as power for everything, okay, I bought another one of those little watertight boxes, okay, and drilled a hole in it, put some goo on there to keep it waterproof, so if it dumped, wouldn't get water in there, mess up my batteries. Got a little bit of foam here, but I'm running the little Mighty Max battery. It's a 12 volt 9 amp hour battery. I think I got it off of Amazon. There's a link, you can check it out. But I just got it stored down in here, and I put all my wires down in here too, so they're not in the way. All right. Also, I usually in this pocket, I don't got it in here right now, but I'll put line in there, like some extra line, so if I have any problems and I need to re-spool, you know, I can always get in there and do that. All right, so that's the seat. Now, the final thing on this boat. All right, so my kayak crate. Everybody needs a good crate of some kind to keep their stuff in. I've got just a regular cheapo, I don't even know who makes this kayak crate, just a regular old plastic crate in there, and then sitting inside of it, plain old Weekender Series kayak crate, flexible kayak crate. And I did a review on this too, man. I love this thing. It just holds everything that I need, keeps it in one place, everything's easily accessible to me, and let's just look at this thing. So first thing, I got this little zip pocket here. So if I catch me a big fish and I need to see how much it weighs, okay, I can get my scale out. So I got it in there. As y'all can see, I've also got some steel leaders. Okay, every once in a while I head up to Cave Run Lake and run into some of them muskie, and you better have you a leader when you're fishing with them. They got some sharp teeth. All right, so I'll go ahead and undo that. Now if you look in here, okay, I've got all my tackle boxes, okay, these 3700s, they fit in here, and I got each one of them labeled, okay, that way when I turn around and I look, I can see what I got back there. So, you know, I got crankbaits, jigs, spinner baits, top water, okay, all kinds of different things. Now this one don't have a label on it yet, but, you know, I've got some bladed jigs, different things in there. Another thing that I like with this, okay, is these little saddle bags, okay, and what I keep in these saddle bags is I keep my little trailers, okay, my trailers and my, all my soft plastics. So, you know, I don't have to bring every soft plastic I own because I've got tons of them. So I'll just stuff, you know, some soft plastics in that saddle bag, and I've actually, if I remember right, I've got another one. I've got another one, and I've just got it stored under the seat. Alright, so I've got another one, and I can put, you know, worms in it or whatever, okay? And I just keep it up here. I got enough room under the seat that I can just put it under there. So that works out real good. I mean, and look here. Once again, let me get up here where we got a little bit better light. If you can see here, alright, I got this thing locked into my crate, and then I got my crate, I got it locked in down here and tied off into the boat. Okay, so when everything's sitting in here, usually when I first get to the lake, when I first get to the lake, this is what it looks like. And everything is in there good and snug. It ain't going nowhere. That's what they always say, right? Alright guys, so there's my 2023 setup on my Native Slayer Propel 10 kayak, fishing kayak. So if you're wondering what some of the equipment was, okay, that I showed you, if you go to the description in this video, I've got them all listed, okay, so you can look them up. Like I told you, you don't have to buy from those links. Those are just some links. Some of them are manufacturer links. Some of them are links to Amazon. Just do your research, you know. That's what I did. You can find good prices out there. Just shop around a little bit. Main thing is you want to get your boat set up so that it's comfortable for you, okay? This did not happen overnight. It's a work in progress. If I do one of these next year, I'll probably change some things. You know, you get out the water, you get out on the water and you get fishing, you start identifying things, you say, hey man, this would make this better. They don't always sell the product, okay? That product may not be out there on the market. So, hey, man, use that ingenuity and make your own thing. Just like this scabbard I showed you here that I put my measuring board in, okay? Hey, you know, it just came to me. Am I a genius? No. Not by any means. But, you know, I know what works for me. And, you know, it gets me thinking and I come up with ideas and then I just make it work. And who knows? Probably somebody's going to watch this video and they'll market this and they'll sell it and they'll make $1 million and I won't see a dime. But, hey, that's how it goes. I don't care. Works for me. I just want to help others. So, you know, if I can help you find a better way to do something, that's what I want to do. I just love fishing. I like being outdoors. That's all I got to say about that. So, appreciate you all stopping by. I hope you get something out of this video. If you got any questions, you know, just put them in the comments, man. Ask me whatever you want to. If you like the video, hey, hit like. Share the video with somebody. Tell them about it. You know, all the interaction that I get on my channel, it helps get my videos out to more people. Okay? That's just the way it works with YouTube. I don't know. I'm no YouTube genius. I don't know all that stuff. I ain't that worried about it. I just like to fish. I like to hike. I like to camp. I like to hunt. I like to go outdoors. And I hope you do too. And if you're on this channel, you probably do. So, thanks for stopping by. Navigate outdoors. And I'll see you in the next episode. Peace!